know that there was elections. I didn't even know that they had gatherings. They are representing us. I don't know who they are. And I've stayed longer than them, you know. So we do not know who the NGOs represent, how many people they represent. They get a greater airing in the press regarding their agenda. Whereas developers get slapped with more and more levies, more and more contributions, more social responsibility being loaded on us. Previously, you set aside some land for some religious building, now build the building, now furnish the building, now, you know, we want this, we want a police station, we want a kindergarten, we want a fire station, you know, everything you can think of, please ask for it. You know, developers are basically your whipping boy. But the cost gets passed on. So like I said earlier, you don't get to be somebody's darling. Developers are not the CM's darling. CM is not our darling, you know, because he makes life more difficult for us. He makes it more burdensome for us. What developers want, and I think what you people all want, is you want clarity, you want transparency, and you want the rule of law, isn't it? That's what you want, that's what we want. We don't want corruption. We are against corruption. We want to play by the rules. Make the rules clear. We follow the rules. You approve our plans. If the plans don't comply with the rules, reject them. That's fine. That's not an issue. The fact that so many of you are here, I'm not wrong in saying that property ownership has been the greatest wealth creator for Penang Heights. Property ownership, you know, has been the greatest wealth creator. If somebody 30 years ago wanted to fund his children to go overseas, and I know because that's what happened with my brother-in-law's parents. For each child, he basically bought one house. And when the child needed to go overseas, he sold off that house. And with that money, he could send them overseas to study. And guess what? Wong Chun Wai this morning, he said, you know, oh, you're studying minister, we were seated together. He said, you know, the price of property in the Klang Valley has risen so much. He bought a house, a semi-D, I think, for 800,000 ringgit 7 years ago. Today it's worth 2.8 million. 3+ times, you know, 7 years ago. Has Penang property appreciated to that extent? Not everywhere. So, Penang property prices have gone up. Klang Valley property prices have gone up. So, same as Johor. So what's the issue, you know? Property prices go up. Are you not happy? Or you prefer property prices to go down? That will make everybody happy, is it? Who's happy when the property prices go down? None. Or when joblessness happens, when pay is cut, when people are retrenched, are we happy with that? We are not. So in a booming economy, of course, property prices will go up. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a reflection of good times. Perfectly fine. So for a small group of individuals who want to determine the fate and the well-being of a majority, please remember that developers build because there's a demand for it. We don't have very deep pockets where we can build and keep holding. We have to build, we have to sell. So we will build to a demand. If there's no more high rise, if there is no supply or reduced supply, prices will go up even faster. The rule of supply and demand. The demand will be there. I've given you the reasons why demand will be there. If we don't churn up the supply, prices are going to go up even more. You know, we are in no position to control the secondary market. Somebody comes along, he buys our property, X dollars. Before the property is handed over to him, it could have gone to 1.5x. When the property is handed to him, over to him, after another 2 years, it's gone to 2x. The property buyers made more money than the developers. That's the truth. That really is the truth. Property buyers have made more money than developers. So we cannot determine the secondary prices. It's people like yourselves who have bought, who say, it's a kilo. Everybody is asking for tomorrow's prices or next year's prices. It's the same. I don't blame you. Who doesn't want to make money, you know? And the problem is sometimes it's easy to complain. Oh, you know, we are asking for higher density, blah, 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 blah. If something has not changed for the last 15 years, cost of construction has gone up, land prices have gone up by 10 times, do you not think that planning should also progress in the city? Singapore revises its planning every 5 years. KL, you look, they've revised. We are working with lower numbers, you know, in terms of plot ratio density than KL or Singapore. We get 87 units per acre, and that not for everywhere. And you know, with that 87 units per acre, 20% of those units will be price controlled. Price control, you know. No free market, sorry. You know. Price control. 20% of those units that use the new guidelines in certain areas, those guidelines only apply, will be price controlled. Next year, it will be 25% that's going to be price controlled. Then we still have the LMC to contend with. So things are going to get a lot more costly. Again, I say affordable housing is the responsibility of our tax collectors. Finally, all of you here, you didn't come here because somebody put a gun to your head. You didn't come here today because there's free food. I didn't see any free food. You didn't come here because I'm an entertainer. I'm not. I hope I'm not entertaining you. I'm giving you some facts. But basically, you all came here because you all were interested. And you all have a choice. When you walk up here, you come up here. I don't think the star put a barrier here. Buy, if not, you cannot leave. You all have a choice. You can choose to buy or not buy. You can choose today, tomorrow, day after. You have a choice. So developers build because there's demand. If buyers say, hey, we don't agree with hill slope developments, don't buy. It's okay. If you think hill slope developments are wrong, choose not to buy. You have a choice. So do other people. If they choose to buy, they also have a choice. But the thing is, for those people who say, hey, don't buy lah, you know, wrong time to buy, blah, 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 all that, you also have a choice to say what you have to say. But because of what that person said, and you choose not to buy, and that next year the prices go up even more, get hold of that person. Tell him off. Okay? You caused me to lose money, you know. I should have bought last year because I listened to this guy, you know, from Radar. So you have a choice. One more thing. A lot of people here, you all come from different backgrounds. If you get a hold of a survey map of Penang Island, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there will be the price for you all, for anyone, first one who comes up to me and tells me, hey, you know, in this survey plan of Penang, there was this little hill, you know. Now today's survey plan, that hill has disappeared because of housing development. There'll be a price for you. So guess what? No hill has disappeared from any survey map of Penang because of housing development. The hills are dying. Where's the obituary? It's not disappeared, no hill has disappeared. building on hill slopes has always been happening since the 60s. So finally, really finally, if you believe in the Penang story, if you really believe in Penang, what's happening to Penang, if you really believe that things have changed, things are better, and many people do, because I do, that's why I'm staying on and working on here. A lot of you, as you all said, Penang rights, you all do believe in Penang. I'm not going to talk politics, then you buy Penang property. That's all I can say. You won't go wrong. Thank you very much.